Hey everyone, Ryan here, and I thought with the Ahsoka show in full swing, it would be fun to do a top 10 LEGO Star Wars sets with Ahsoka. I actually wanted to do one of these for Boba Fett, but I never got around to it, so we're going to do it with Ahsoka. Anyway, number 10, Brickhead's number 150, Ahsoka Tano. A good pickup for $10. It is one of the better looking Brickheads, I would say, especially for a human-ish one. Obviously, she's not exactly human, but definitely has a lot of the features of one, and they got the little prints on her face. Overall, this is a cute one, but it doesn't possess some of the greatness that we'll see later on the list. At number 9, the MandR Mobile Heavy Cannon from 2013. A pretty cool set for $50 at the time, although the Ahsoka figure is awesome in this one. It's a top tier, I think season 5 or season 4 Ahsoka minifigure. Just has always looked really good and will probably continue to age very well. The other figures in this set are questionable. The MandRs are goofy looking, although they're also goofy looking in the show. And the 212th Trooper in this set just isn't a 212th Trooper. It's really a 327th Trooper because it's yellow, but they called it a 212th Trooper. Anyway, it was a good set, and I think with that Ahsoka minifigure specifically, it's become rather expensive at $40 or $50 nowadays, and we'll talk about each minifigure as they pop up because we'll see each of the 5 different Ahsoka minifigures throughout this video. The next one is Ahsoka Starfighter and Vulture Droid. This was a great combo pack. I think it was a Walmart exclusive, at least in the US, back in 2009 when it came out for $40. Definitely a bit overpriced, but the Vulture Droid was cool. I always liked that smaller style Vulture Droid better than what they ended up doing in 2014, and the Buzz Droids were nice to have. I like the classic design. It just feels weird that the 2005 Buzz Droid design is in a 2009 set. But on the Ahsoka side of things in this set, her Starfighter was gorgeous in this dark red color scheme with white striping all over. The problem with that color, though, is it ages poorly and can crack over time, so just something to be aware if this is a set you're looking at getting going into the Ahsoka show here. We also have the only Ahsoka's astromech droid ever with R7A7 in this set. Looks really cool in that dark red color scheme that matches the Starfighter. Just even got a bit of lime green on the top too. And then the Ahsoka minifig in this one is the one that was originally released in 2008 and is the normal Clone Wars version. This one came in 5 or 6 different sets and is one of the cheaper versions of Ahsoka, only coming in between $10 and $20 in today's market. She's just not super expensive, but is a pretty good looking one for a 2008 Lego figure. At number 7, we have the Duel on Mandalore, and this is a set that I easily would have bumped up if it had an extra shock trooper or something in there. I always felt like this set didn't have enough for $20, but it is still a very cool set with Darth Maul ready to take on Ahsoka from season 7 of the Clone Wars, a really cool duel that happened. And of course you have the Mandalorian throne there that Darth Maul sits on. That thing just looks epic, even in its small scale. Like, what else are you going to do? Add more wall to it? So it is kind of one of those sets where it's like, it sucks that it's so small and cheap, but also like, I don't know, there's not a whole lot you can do with that. And to the Ahsoka minifig in this set, that's the season 7 Clone Wars version. She only ended up in 2 sets, being the 2020 AAT, which we are not going to see on this list. This minifig is really cheap too, maybe like $10. It's cool looking. The Leku is a bit large for what it really should have been, and what we'll see later is that LEGO finally did make a new Leku for the Ahsoka show, but for this one they actually were reusing the one from Star Wars Rebels, which is in the next set, the Rebel Combat Frigate. Yeah, this thing is crazy cool looking. It's one that at the time was not very well received and kind of looked past, but now the set on the whole is worth hundreds and hundreds of dollars, let alone the Ahsoka minifigure in this set worth somewhere around $300. And she has unique lightsaber hilts in this one, which is awesome. Love to see that. And of course the Leku for this is the large size that we saw in the Clone Wars version, but it is properly the large size in this set like it's supposed to be. Arguably the best Ahsoka minifigure ever made. I do really like it. I think it looks pretty spot on for what we see in Star Wars Rebels, but there's also an argument to be made that the one from the new Ahsoka show is the best Ahsoka minifigure ever made, because at number 5 we have Ahsoka Tano's Jedi T6 shuttle, which is a fantastic little set. Definitely has a few flaws, but I think overall this set is really getting underrated from people coming into the Ahsoka show. This is one of those first Ahsoka show sets, and hopefully we'll see more in 2024 and beyond, but as of now this is one of those first 3. I feel like the minifigs across the board are killer with Huyang, Morok, Sabine, and of course the Ahsoka. They made a new Leku specifically for this Ahsoka show Ahsoka minifigure that looks great. It's got great printing, great amount of detail, and this is also the only Ahsoka minifigure with arm printing. I think that really sets this figure apart, even from the Rebels one. As great as it is, the arm printing goes a long way here. Now this figure does look a little bit awkward because on the feet it looks like she's got toes, even though it's really the sandals or whatever it is she's wearing in the show. Like, yeah, it's accurate, but that doesn't mean it doesn't look a little bit goofy because it looks like toes. I'm just saying. Now at number 4 we have Anakin's Y-Wing Starfighter. This was a $60 set back in the day. Crazy. They'd probably want $100 for something like this nowadays, but it looks awesome. I think it has aged aged phenomenally. The color scheme is great. You have that printed windshield piece with the yellow on top. You get 3 figures in this one, and it's kind of a boring figure selection to some degree because it's just the standard versions of these that we see in tons of sets from the era. The hidden feature on this set, though, that set it apart as a playset to me as a kid was the big missile underneath it. Like, it's just always the best to have that sort of missile, and so having that on this one just killed it for me. Our top 3 probably could have gone in any order, but at number 3 I put the ATTE, and you get the standard Anakin, standard Ahsoka, you get a Rada, you get a battle droid, you get Phase 1 Captain Rex, which was awesome, and that's a big draw to this set, and a regular clone trooper doesn't hurt. The ATTE build, I think, is starting to show its age, as I have one in my collection. Every time I look at it, it just looks a little older to me. It's got a great interior, though. Because of its size, it actually has that advantage, where it just has so much space to work with. They really, I feel like, didn't even know what to do with all that space, and they kind of left some of it just empty, which was annoying. And it does something better than Anakin's Y-Wing, because instead of having one big missile shooter, it has 2 big missile shooters that are hidden underneath the panels on the front of the ATTE on either side of the cockpit. That's awesome. Moving on, number 2, a set that I said was basically a 10 out of 10 in the recent review I did, the Coruscant Guard gunship. This set is literally perfect. I don't know, there's so few, like, I can point out that on the top, the red translucent color is not as translucent on the top as it is on the front. That looks kind of bad. It definitely does, but like, it's perfectly shaped. It's got fun play features that don't take away from the design, like the spring-loaded shooters that are built into the top look great. It's got good sticker detailing. It's got a phenomenal amount of interior space that is used well. You can put in both shock troopers to pilot the set. You have that season 4, 5, 6, whatever Ahsoka minifigure again in this set that we saw earlier in the Umbaran Mobile Heavy Cannon. That's still a good figure here. And then you kind of get a slightly upgraded Clone Wars Anakin. It's not as upgraded as I would say the Ahsoka looks, but compared to like the 2008 Clone Wars Anakin, this one was an upgrade with a bit of leg printing and I think a more detailed overall torso design. Not to mention this set cost just $50 when it came out in 2014, and most LEGO Star Wars fans at this point know that 2014 is regarded as one of the best years of LEGO Star Wars ever, and this set is one of the reasons why it is. This is just dang near perfect. So that one's number 2, so it makes you think, what's number 1? Well, it's not the Twilight. The Twilight didn't make the list. No, it's the Clone Turbo Tank. I'm probably blinded by nostalgia on this one. The Coruscant Please Gunship might just be a better set, but this one is bigger, and bigger is better. This one has some small builds in it, like a clone command post. It's got a little ATRT walker. It's got a couple of regular clone troopers with various amounts of armor on them. And then you have Cad Bane, Ayla Secura, great characters, named characters in this set for $120. And then you get the standard Clone Wars Anakin and Ahsoka, which can be a letdown. This was summer 2010, so we were 2 years into the Clone Wars era of LEGO Star Wars, and they were still just putting out the standard, right? So I do wish they had upgraded the figures by now, because like the Ayla was a really nice figure, looked awesome, but the Ahsoka starts to show her age, I think, in this set specifically. I loved the amount of interior space you got with this. Not to mention the wheels on this were very free-flowing and easy to use and ride around with as a playset too. I love this turbo tank. It's the biggest turbo tank. It's the best looking turbo tank LEGO has done to date. Just in case you were curious, the other Ahsoka things I didn't include were this magnet set and this Comic-Con set that has Ahsoka with Mace Windu and a clone trooper, so those ones also didn't crack the top 10 for obvious reasons. Look at that Anakin face on this picture. I don't know what's going on there. Anyway, those are the top 10 LEGO Star Wars sets for Ahsoka. I hope that this list is outdated come 2024, because it'd be awesome if we get even more great Ahsoka sets, but let me know what you think down in the comments section below. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.